Picture this for a second. What if you could be the kind of person who stays completely unshaken no matter what's thrown at them? Someone who doesn't flinch when criticism comes flying, who handles rejection without falling apart, who deals with loss without crumbling, and who faces betrayal without losing who they are. Have you ever caught yourself daydreaming about reaching that state? That place where nothing and no one can get under your skin anymore? Think about those nights you spent staring at the ceiling at 3 a.m., your mind racing, desperate for the day when that nagging pain finally lets you go. You know exactly what I'm talking about. That invisible weight crushing you from the inside, eating away at your peace, even while you're smiling and pretending everything's fine to everyone around you. Even while you're nodding along in conversations, acting like you've got it all figured out. It's exhausting, right? Keeping up this act, projecting strength 24/7, when all you really want is one moment to just breathe, to let your shoulders drop, to stop performing. Maybe you're done trying to please everyone who crosses your path, tired of maintaining this image that demands you be strong all the damn time, never showing cracks, never admitting struggle. Deep down, there's a part of you screaming to drop the mask and finally rest, to stop carrying this impossible standard of always being okay, always being composed, always having your act together no matter what's happening internally. Now, I'm going to tell you something most people don't have the guts to say straight to your face, something that might shake up everything you think you know about handling emotions. Every second you spend running from pain, avoiding that ache inside, trying to escape what hurts, that's exactly how long it keeps controlling you. That's exactly how long you stay trapped. Every time you try to shut down your feelings, build thicker walls, go numb to the world, convince yourself you don't care anymore, you're actually giving away more control. You become a prisoner to every harsh word thrown your way, every action that disappoints you, every letdown that catches you off guard, every silence that kills you inside bit by bit. You're handing over the keys to your emotional state to everyone and everything around you. And here's the thing, this struggle doesn't mean you're broken or defective or weaker than everyone else. This is the reality most people face every single day of their lives. Walk down any street, look at any crowd, they're all fighting this same battle. Some just hide it better than others. They've perfected the mask, rehearsed the performance, gotten really good at the act. Carl Jung, one of the most brilliant minds in psychology, said something powerful that changed how we understand human nature. We're not defined by what happens to us. We're not shaped by the circumstances that crash into our lives like waves against rocks. We're defined by what we choose to become because of it, by the decisions we make in response to those circumstances. And that's where everything changes. That's where the real power lives.
Real quick, drop a comment and tell me, are you carrying this weight too? Exhausted from feeling like everything cuts so deep, like you're just more sensitive than everyone else. Your honesty might help someone else realize they're not alone in this fight. Here's what most people get wrong about emotional pain. They think pain itself is the enemy. They think the goal is to never feel anything uncomfortable. But this isn't about building impenetrable walls around your heart. It's not about turning cold, distant, unreachable, emotionally unavailable. That's just another prison with better lighting. What we're really talking about is something way more powerful, way more transformative: integration, bringing everything that's controlling you from the shadows into the light where you can actually see it, dragging those hidden parts of yourself out of the dark corners where they've been running the show without your permission. Real strength has nothing to do with not feeling pain. That's not strength, that's numbness, and there's a huge difference. Real power shows up when you know exactly who you are, even when you're bleeding, even when everything hurts, even when you're in the middle of the storm. That's when your true character reveals itself. You being here right now, watching this, reading these words, not an accident. This isn't random chance. This is for anyone who's exhausted from letting every interaction leave another scar on their soul. For anyone who feels like they're always one step behind emotionally, like other people have some secret advantage you can't figure out, like everyone else got a manual for handling life that you somehow missed. I'm going to show you that this constant suffering isn't permanent. It's not your destiny. But transformation's going to cost you something. It means you stop running and start facing truths that might sting at first. Truths that might challenge everything you've been telling yourself about why you hurt and how to fix it. And maybe, for once, that pain will actually set you free instead of keeping you trapped. Listen, you've been telling yourself that what hurts you lives out there, in what people do to you, what they say about you, how they abandon you, how they betray your trust, how they fail to show up when you need them most. But here's what nobody wants to hear. What sounds harsh, but might be the most liberating thing you'll ever understand. Nothing outside you has any real power to hurt you unless it hits a wound that's already there. Unless it makes contact with something unhealed, something you've been avoiding, something you pushed down years ago and never addressed. It's the what destroys you isn't what happened, it's the what gets triggered inside you because of it. It's the story you tell yourself about what it means. It's the narrative you've constructed about your worth, your value, your place in the world. It's the old wound that never healed because you never dealt with it, never cleaned it out, never let it see daylight. It's the emptiness you've been covering up with fake strength, with walls of pride, with this desperate need to look like you've got it all together, when inside, you're falling apart. Jung showed us something crucial that changes everything once you really get it. The pain we feel from the outside world is just a reflection of what we haven't dealt with inside. It's a mirror. The external world is constantly showing you what needs attention in your internal world. But most people never make that connection. That's why two people can go through the same hell and come out totally different. One person stays centered through devastating loss, maintains their sense of self, keeps their clarity. Another person completely falls apart from a single comment, a minor rejection, a small slight that might seem trivial to outside observers. It's not about what happened or how severe it was objectively. It's about where it hits you, what internal wound it activates, what old story it confirms for you. Here's another uncomfortable truth that might make you squirm a bit. You keep suffering because deep down, in a place you probably don't want to look, you still believe you can control how the world treats you. You still think that if you just get the formula right, if you just become good enough, lovable enough, successful enough, then you'll finally be safe from pain. So you exhaust yourself trying to be good enough for everyone you meet, smart enough to avoid mistakes, strong enough that nobody sees vulnerability, understanding enough that everyone likes you, like somehow that perfect performance will protect you from getting hurt, like you can earn immunity from suffering through excellent behavior. But control? That's an illusion, a comforting lie we tell ourselves to feel secure in an inherently uncertain world. And every moment you cling to it, you're stuck in constant tension, trying to predict the unpredictable, trying to prevent what you fundamentally can't prevent, trying to manage variables that exist completely outside your sphere of influence. You're playing a game you can never win. Want to stop suffering so much? Then stop protecting yourself from it. Stop building all these elaborate defense systems to keep pain away. Stop organizing your entire life around avoiding discomfort. What you need isn't more control, more strategies, more techniques for managing other people's behavior. It's awareness, consciousness, the ability to see what's actually happening beneath the surface of your reactions. Your freedom starts the exact moment you get this principle deep in your bones. Anything from the outside only has power if it finds something inside you that resonates with it. External events can only hurt you when they strike a chord that already exists in your internal instrument. In that internal world, that psychological landscape, that unconscious terrain, that's the real battlefield. Everything else is just distraction. Take 10 seconds right now, write in the comments, what keeps triggering you over and over? What hits that same spot every time? Name it, because that's step one to changing your relationship with it. Look, whatever you can't see inside yourself, whatever you don't understand about how your mind actually works, whatever patterns you're running unconsciously, that's what ends up running you. Those invisible forces control you from the shadows, pulling strings you don't even know exist. Jung put it perfectly when he said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it'll keep directing your life from behind the scenes. And you'll experience all this external control, this feeling of being pushed around by forces beyond you, and you'll call it fate. You'll call it bad luck. You'll say, that's just how things are for me." But it's none of that. It's unexamined patterns running on autopilot. That sudden emotional pain that hits out of nowhere, seemingly without cause, that anger that explodes without warning, shocking you and everyone around you with its intensity, that crushing sadness that drops on you like a weight when nothing even triggered it that you can identify. None of this is random, and none of it means you're losing your mind. These are messages, urgent communications from parts of you that got abandoned long ago, ignored because they were inconvenient, pushed down because dealing with them felt too dangerous or overwhelming at the time. Your unconscious isn't some dead storage unit where old memories go to collect dust. It's alive, active, constantly working, processing memories, carrying unprocessed trauma, holding desires you won't admit to yourself, protecting fears you buried so deep you forgot they were there. And this whole system is making decisions about how you feel and act every single moment, whether you realize it or not. It's running programs in the background, influencing your choices, shaping your reactions, all below the level of your conscious awareness. You took everything uncomfortable, everything that didn't fit your preferred self-image, everything that threatened your sense of control, and you shoved it under the psychological rug. You thought if you couldn't see it, it would cease to exist, or at least stop mattering. And now you keep tripping over it, stumbling over that same hidden mass, wondering why you can't move forward, why you keep ending up in the same painful situations, despite your best efforts to change. Most people think the answer is shutting down completely. They think emotional survival means building massive walls that nothing can penetrate, creating perfect masks that never slip, getting that thick skin everyone talks about like it's the ultimate achievement.
They say it like a mantra. I don't care anymore. Nothing gets to me. I'm beyond all that now. But look inside, still bleeding. The wounds are still there, still open, still fresh, just hidden now behind all that armor, invisible to the world, and sometimes even to themselves. Because feeling was never the actual problem. Emotions aren't the enemy. Sensitivity isn't weakness that needs to be eliminated. The real problem was not knowing what you're feeling and why it's happening. The problem was the absence of consciousness about your internal world, about the mechanics of your own emotional system. Real emotional strength, the kind that actually holds up under pressure, has nothing to do with being cold or shut down or unreachable. It's all about integration, about bringing the scattered pieces together, about making friends with every part of yourself, even the parts you've been running from for years. You don't become untouchable by building barriers between yourself and the world. That's not invulnerability. That's isolation disguised as strength. You become genuinely untouchable when nothing outside can touch what you've already made peace with inside. When you've already embraced those wounded parts, already sat with that pain, already integrated those shadow aspects, when there's no hidden wound for the world to activate because you've brought everything into the light. Jung called this process individuation, and it's crucial to understand what that actually means because most people get it wrong. It's not about becoming perfect, polished, flawless, without any rough edges or difficulties. It's not about transcending your humanity or reaching some enlightened state where nothing affects you. It's about becoming whole, complete, integrated, taking all the scattered, rejected, hidden pieces of yourself and bringing them into conscious relationship with each other, not fixing them or eliminating them, integrating them. You were taught from early childhood to hate pain, to view discomfort as your mortal enemy, that suffering means weakness and only weak people struggle, that crying's pointless, a waste of time and energy, that feeling deeply makes you vulnerable, exposed, easy to hurt, easy to manipulate, easy to control. So, you learned to run. You became an expert at avoiding, at numbing, at distracting yourself the moment anything uncomfortable started bubbling up. You developed sophisticated strategies for escaping your own feelings before they could fully land. But here's what nobody told you, what you had to discover through painful experience. Pain you ignore doesn't disappear into thin air. It doesn't dissolve just because you refuse to look at it. It doesn't evaporate because you're busy pretending it doesn't exist. It just shape-shifts. It transforms. It finds other channels, other forms, other ways to express itself and get your attention. It becomes chronic anxiety that follows you everywhere, that constant background hum of dread you can't shake. It becomes rage that explodes at inappropriate moments, shocking everyone, including yourself. It becomes numbness, that disconnected state where nothing seems to matter anymore and you're just going through the motions. It becomes self-sabotage, where you unconsciously destroy the very things you consciously claim to want most. Jung offered a powerful metaphor that completely reframes how we should relate to difficult emotions. He said depression's like a woman dressed in black who appears at your door one day. Your instinct, your trained response, is to slam that door shut, to pretend she's not there, to wish her away. But that's the worst possible response. Instead, he said, invite her in. Offer her a seat at your table. Listen carefully to what she's got to say, because she's not there to destroy you. She's carrying a message you desperately need to hear, information about what needs to transform in your life. Pain isn't your enemy trying to take you down. That's the fundamental misunderstanding that keeps people trapped for decades. Pain is a messenger, a signal, an alarm system showing you exactly what needs to change, what needs attention, what needs to be addressed that you've been avoiding. Growth hurts. There's no way around that reality. Real growth requires you to expand beyond comfortable boundaries, and that expansion process is inherently uncomfortable. It means becoming someone you've never been before. Change hurts because it requires releasing versions of yourself you've grown attached to, identities you've built your whole life around, even when they're killing you slowly. Letting go hurts because we form attachments to everything, people, places, beliefs, stories about ourselves, and releasing those attachments feels like a small death every single time. But it's in that breakdown, that destruction of what no longer serves you, that something genuinely new has space to be born. That's the creative power of destruction. That's why every major transformation in history has required something old to fall apart first. Individuation, this process Jung mapped out, means dropping the mask, the persona you show the world, that carefully constructed false self. You're not your achievements and accomplishments, your resume, your status. You're not your trauma, even though trauma has shaped you in profound ways. You're not the carefully curated image you built to earn love, to gain acceptance, to feel worthy in others' eyes. Those were survival tools, necessary strategies you developed to navigate a complicated world when you were young and genuinely vulnerable and didn't have other options available.
But surviving isn't the same as living. Survival mode is about making it through another day. Living is about thriving, expanding, becoming more fully yourself instead of less. Real strength, the kind that holds up when everything's falling apart, isn't armor you strap on. It's a solid core, something stable inside that holds even when everything around you is chaos. A foundation that can't be shaken because it's built on genuine self-knowledge rather than external validation. You might feel intense pain, devastating pain, but it doesn't break your fundamental sense of self. You might get hurt by circumstances, by people, by loss, but you don't lose yourself in that hurt. You don't dissolve. You don't disappear. You remain. This path gets lonely, and I won't lie to you about that, but it's crucial to understand why it gets lonely. It's not because people reject you or because you end up isolated with no connections. It's not because you become some cold hermit that nobody wants to be around. It's lonely because you've outgrown the shallow end where most people spend their whole lives. You've gone to depths most people are too frightened to explore. You've asked questions most people would rather avoid. And once you've been to those depths, surface-level conversations and relationships can feel hollow, unsatisfying, incomplete. You ready to go deeper? Drop "I'm ready" in the comments if you're committed to this path, even knowing it won't be easy, even knowing it's going to cost you something. That commitment matters more than you think. That declaration has power. Look, there's only one real shield that actually works, only one protection that can't be penetrated: consciousness itself. Nothing protects you from suffering. Nothing makes you immune to pain if you're unconscious about yourself. Sleepwalking through life on autopilot, running programs you've never questioned, reacting from patterns you inherited but never examined. Waking up isn't some miraculous event that happens to you one day, like winning a cosmic lottery. It's not grace bestowed on the chosen few. Waking up is a choice you make every single day, sometimes every single hour. It's a commitment to staying present, to remaining conscious, to continuously examining what's actually happening inside you, rather than just reacting to what's happening around you. Jung nailed it when he said, "What you resist keeps showing up." Fighting against something, trying to push it away, denying its existence, that actually gives it more power over you, more control. But what you accept transforms. Acknowledging something, seeing it clearly, bringing it into full awareness, that changes its very nature and its relationship to you. Real immunity, genuine invulnerability that nobody can break through, isn't about being hard or cold or shut down.
It's about seeing clearly, crystal clear awareness of what's actually going on inside you, around you, between you and others. Think about it this way. People who live on the surface of the ocean get tossed around by every single wave that passes. They have no stability, no peace, no sense of control. Every fluctuation in the environment sends them spinning. But dive deep enough, below a certain depth, you find silence, stability, power that exists below all that surface chaos. The storms rage above, but down in the depths, everything's calm. And that's where you're headed if you keep going. That's what's waiting for you if you don't turn back now. If something here hit you, if something shifted inside, if you felt a recognition you can't quite name but you know it's important, write this in the comments. I choose awareness. Not because it's magic, not because these words have mystical power, but because saying it out loud creates real commitment. Because declaring your intention publicly makes it harder to back down later. Because seeing others do it too reminds you you're not alone in this journey. But get this straight, we're not done. This isn't the destination. This isn't where you get off. What comes next isn't separate from what we just covered. It's the next layer of this same journey into real transformation, into genuine change that actually sticks. And here's what you need to understand about actual transformation, the kind that fundamentally changes your life instead of just making you feel inspired for 5 minutes before you go back to exactly how you were. It only starts when you make a non-negotiable commitment that you won't stop. When you refuse to turn back no matter what. When you decide you're going all the way down into those depths, no matter what you find there, no matter how uncomfortable it gets, no matter how much it challenges everything you thought you knew about yourself and the world. Most people quit right here. They feel inspired for a hot second, they nod along thinking, yeah, this makes sense. Maybe they even take a few steps forward, then they retreat right back to how they were living before.
The comfort of the familiar always wins. Nothing actually changes. Don't be most people. Don't let this be another thing you consumed and forgot about by tomorrow. What's next is waiting for you, and everything we just covered, that's just laying the groundwork, building the foundation for what comes next. I'll see you there.